Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we are focusing on the present perfect simple tense. So, our lesson objectives are to understand when to use the present perfect simple tense and to learn how to form the present perfect simple tense. Let's see the first use of the present perfect simple tense. We use the present perfect simple to describe an action which happened in the past and has a result or a consequence in the present. For example, if I say, these dishes are clean, Mom has just washed them. Notice that as mom can be replaced by the pronoun she, then as a consequence, the auxiliary have, it turns into has just washed. So if we take a look at this example, right, we can consider a timeline. So right now, the dishes are clean. And maybe mom washed the dishes 5 minutes ago. In this case, it's not really important exactly at what time mom washed the dishes. What is important is that there is a consequence or a result now, because now the dishes are clean and I can see it. Let's see what happens with another example. If we say the exterior paint was damp, we have painted the house. So in here we can see what it looked like, and here we have got what it looks like now. Again, we as a consequence is our new subject, therefore the auxiliary is have. We have painted. Notice the use of the present perfect simple. Again, it doesn't matter exactly when the house was painted, right? Maybe it was painted 2 weeks ago, but this has a consequence or a result in our present because now it looks beautiful and it's not damp anymore. Another example, I can say I have cut my finger, right? Again, I as a consequence has the auxiliary have conjugated for this pronoun. And again, this means that maybe I cut my finger 5 minutes ago, or a few minutes ago, or 1 hour ago. It doesn't really matter exactly when this happened, but it is a recent past. And as a consequence, right now, I am wearing a band-aid and I have a cut in my finger, and maybe there is a little bit of pain. This is a consequence right now. That is why I say it in the present perfect simple. Let's take a look at what happens with the tense markers now. One of the tense markers is just. So just means a short time ago. For example, we can say, would you like something to eat? No thanks, I have just had lunch. Another example, hello, have you just arrived? So you see, just is one of the words that is typically used in the present perfect simple. Another example is the word already. Already means that something happened sooner than expected. For example, oh, don't forget to post the letter. I have already posted it. Yes, I did it sooner than the other person expected me to do it. Another example, what time is Mark leaving? He has already gone. Another word typically used in the present perfect simple is the word yet. And yet means until now, and it is used in questions and negatives. Let's take a look at one example of each. For example, has it stopped raining yet? Or in the negative, I have written the email, but I haven't sent it yet. Not yet. Let's take a look at a second usage of the present perfect simple. We can use the present perfect simple to talk about a period of time which continues from the past until now. For example, we have this movie, Shrek 1, I really love this movie, this film. I have seen it 20 times. Now, if we consider a timeline where we have past, present, and future, we know that Shrek 1 was released in 2001. And I really don't remember exactly when I watched this film, but all I know is that up to now, I have seen it at least 20 times. It's not really that important to remember exactly the date and the when, but what it means is that I have watched it many times, and maybe I will continue watching it the next time I see it on the screen. Another example would be this dialogue, a conversation between Tom and Jane. So Tom says, "Have you traveled a lot, Jane?" "Yes, I have been to many places." "Really? Have you ever been to Japan?" "Yes, I have been to Japan twice." "What about India?" "No, I haven't been to India." Again, if I consider a timeline, yes, we can say that Tom all the time was asking her questions, asking Jane questions about her entire life. So since she was born until now, whether she had visited Japan or not, it was not important to remember exactly when she did visit Japan, for example. What is important is that she visited Japan and that in fact she was there twice. Another example, have you ever eaten sushi? Again, in your whole life until now. Maybe you do try sushi for a change in the future, right? But if we cover your past since you were born and began eating solid food until now, I'm asking, okay, have you ever eaten sushi? Another example, I have never flown in a helicopter, right? Again, considering my time, my life period until now. This refers to experiences, life experiences. So again, the tense markers when you want to talk about experiences are ever in questions to mean at any time. For example, again, have you ever been to the USA? Or never in positive statements. For example, when you say we have never visited the Cologne Theater since we were born until now, right? Maybe in the future we do go and visit the Cologne Theater, which we highly recommend. Another thing that we should take into consideration when talking about experiences with ever and never is that first, the position, right? Notice that ever and never keep this position between has or have and the past participle in the present perfect. Another thing you should pay attention to is the difference between gone versus been. The verb go in the present perfect has these two participles. Why? Because, for example, I can see here this boy and I can say he has gone to Paris because he is in Paris now. And I can say he has been to Paris. He went to Paris and returned home. Now he's home. You see? So, depending on whether the person is in that place or has returned, my choice of the past participle for the verb go when speaking in the present perfect is going to be gone or been. More tense markers. For and since. These are two typical tense markers for that go with the present perfect simple. In the case of for, it is always followed by a period of time. For example, I can say, I have lived here for 7 years. I live here now. And this is opposite and different from saying, I lived here for 7 years. This means I'm not living here right now, right? That is why this is what justifies your choice of the past simple or the present perfect. What happens with since? Since is followed by a point in time. For example, I can say, I have lived here since 2015. I live here now. What about the present perfect simple form? As you may have already noticed, then in the affirmative, I, you, we, and they is followed by have plus the past participle. For example, I can say, I have saved enough money to buy a new computer or a gaming PC. He, she, and it is followed by has plus the past participle. For example, he has mown the lawn. In the negative, I, you, we, and they is followed by have again, but we are going to add the adverb of negation not plus the past participle. Example, you have not taken out the trash. He, she, and it is going to be followed by has plus not plus past participle. For example, she has not vacuumed the floor. Look at this mess. Finally, in the interrogative, have is going to come prior to the subject, I, you, we, or they, because have acts as an auxiliary in here, and then it's going to be followed by the past participle and the rest of the sentence, and we're going to include a question mark. For example, have you done your homework? However, he, she, and it are going to be anticipated by has, so I'm going to say has he, she, or it, and the past participle, and the rest of the sentence, and then I'm going to have the question mark. For example, has your brother taken the dog for a walk? I hope that you found this lesson useful. Thank you.